This episode is sponsored by Allure and Alchemy. They are based in Dallas, Texas, and are a full-service mobile beverage catering company that specializes in highly custom and bespoke events. They take care of all your beverage needs, match your branding or your theme, handle everything from providing the bar, supplying the glassware, to bringing the ice. They are experienced professionals with over 800 events executed. You get to choose from a lookbook of 42 delicious, stunning cocktails and mocktails. Their dedicated planning team will answer all of your questions, gather all the necessary details, and handle all of the logistics. Their team of licensed, insured employee mixologists arrive early, set up on time, and mix and shake the most buzzworthy cocktails. They have a liquor license and can provide the alcohol or serve using client-provided alcohol. All of their syrups, garnishes, juices, purees are made and prepared in their licensed industrial kitchen. Their motto is "Let's party together." Check out their website, allureandalchemybar.com, or we'll have the information below. Welcome to Healing Highs with Lara, where we talk about the highlights and serendipitous moments on our healing journeys. I'm Lara. Thank you for joining me today. I want to talk about sound healing today. Sound healing can be a unique and beautiful way to start your healing journey or to be a big part of your healing journey. I've been so honored to facilitate sound healings for things like birthday celebrations, baby showers, at a farm sanctuary or cat cafe, for events. But it is just a lovely way for you to kind of support your own meditation, or to, like, if you are new to sound, to healing, to go to a sound healing, because it's such a gentle but also deep way that you can move through some different emotions, get into a relaxed state. So I love it for all things healing. It really supports many different avenues of your healing. I also like using it for clearing space, because different instruments can help to break up some dense vibrations, almost like saging in a way. So there's just so many ways to use sound healing. So I want to talk a little bit more about it, and starting with just what is sound healing. So it's an ancient practice that uses sound waves to improve your physical, mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual well-being. The vibrations use different instruments to match frequencies in the body, and this can work in a number of ways. It lowers, many people report, it lowers anxiety, episodes of insomnia, stress. If you have migraines, it can usually help that. Pains in the body like sciatica, it can help with depression. And it really helps you connect to the innermost part of yourself, your higher self. And because it accesses different brain waves, it really promotes relaxation, healing, peace. Depending on the different sounds that you're hearing, they have different frequencies, different vibrations that are helping your body to be in a relaxed state. And I like to sometimes describe it as this in-between state where it's like you're asleep, but you're not, you're awake. You can tell what's going on in the room, but even sometimes I'll find myself, or the group I'm facilitating, I'll hear a couple people almost like they're snoring, but I know from my own experience, like, my body is snoring, but I'm awake. So it really is so deeply relaxing. Sound healing also works by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of the stress, fight, or flight response, which is what our goal is, because when we are in that state, our body can heal itself. It slows down your breath and your heart rate and your brain waves to help put you into almost like a trance. And that is extremely healing for all of the parts of you: physical, body, emotional, mental, spiritual. Another way that sound heals is cymatics. So when the energy waves are vibrating, you could put like sand over a flat surface and then watch the vibrations actually change the sand into a pattern. So you just see the pattern like unfold into these different variations. If you've never seen this before, you have to Google it or go on YouTube and type in Cymatics, CYM, and see some really cool images or videos. When I was taking my sound healing certification training, the teacher that I had and I'm still friends with, he had so many amazing instruments and setups, and he was a real techie person. So he had it set up that he had different surfaces with sand and then microphones and speakers kind of all placed to create these shapes. And so he would have us hum into the microphone different tones and different notes and watch the vibration of our humming or singing make different shapes in the sand, like, sacred geometry. I should actually look for maybe a video and see if I can put it here. But I don't know if I actually got a video of the sand. It's just us standing there going, so it might not be that interesting. So yeah, go check that out. It's really fascinating and really tells you if that's happening with the sand, what's happening in my body, what's happening on a cellular level. Because different instruments that you encounter in a sound bath are going to do different things. So some instruments you might experience are crystal bowls. The ones I have are, I think they say it's 99% quartz crystal. You could have rain sticks, moyo drums, chimes, gongs, all different types of gongs, so many more things. And even things that you think are just everyday items are creating vibrations. So sometimes people will make their own instruments or find the sound of something that they really love. I had something hanging in my window forever, and the material was aging, and so I wanted to get rid of it, but it had a little bell at the end that I loved the sound of. It was so peaceful sounding. So I actually cut that off and I use it in my sound healing sometimes. So it can just be, obviously that's a bell and it's, similar to a chime, but you can even just tap like a certain cup, or a cat purring. These things are sounds, they are frequencies, they are healing. And whenever I offer sound healings, I always encourage people to really drop into whatever those sounds are, and whatever those sounds are kind of bringing up for you. Sometimes it is just very relaxing and very peaceful, and you can just lie there or sit there and close your eyes or pick something to just soften your gaze on. But other times it can happen where the different instruments are moving through, like we said, on a cellular level, and you are shifting or activating or releasing different things that your body is holding on to. And so when that happens, it could feel really great. It can feel very peaceful, but also could feel a little bit emotional and uncomfortable. So I always remind people in those moments, come back to your breath, breathe through it. Something is wanting to be shifted and changed and released. Let it, allow it, surrender to it, so that it can happen more quickly than us resisting it and it taking longer and being in that discomfort. So usually if you come back to your breath, you can move through it very quickly, and then the healing can just come back to that very peaceful, relaxed, enjoyable time. The sounds are penetrating into the tissue so deeply that there is some people that have noticed and looked into that it's stimulating a regeneration, a repair of the cells, and improving blood circulation and metabolism. The sound vibrations can also cause this like compression and relaxation of the cells, which is literally like a cellular massage. Because on this podcast, I always like to talk about serendipitous moments in healing. I wanted to share one that occurred to me, for me, with a sound bath that I did. That was a private mini sound bath. I think it was like 10-15 minutes. And I was lying there, and had all their instruments around me, and they were playing them. And then at the very end, she put a Tibetan bowl. If you're not familiar, they're like the copper gold colored ones, on my stomach, and was playing it a little bit, and it felt really powerful. That the whole thing was great, but something about that, I could feel in my body something going on. And lovely experience, walked away, went home very shortly after, maybe 20 minutes later. And as soon as I got in my house, all of a sudden I started to feel like something wrong with my stomach. And I ended up that I started bleeding. And I went to the doctor that week and found out that I had something that I needed to have a surgery on. And the doctor was surprised that I hadn't had any symptoms of this. You know, we went through all the symptoms, and I knew what the symptoms were just from hearing about similar things. And I thought, yeah, I didn't have any symptoms of this. And I feel like I was so lucky that, and of course the serendipitous moment that healing occurred, where she put that bowl on me, it physically moved something to draw my attention to this issue that I wasn't aware that I had, and was able to get it taken care of and was fine after that. So sound healing can be literally so healing for you and your body. But also it's a wonderful practice to use in your own meditation. So if you're not able to get out and to do an event or a sound healing with a group of people, or a private sound healing by a facilitator, just buying one little bowl, or I say that like, you know, it's not a big deal. I know they are expensive. It's a big privilege to be able to have those things. But sometimes people are giving away old ones that they're not using anymore. So you can find some different ones. But getting a little bowl or a little chime or rattle that you can play, and it can be part of your ritual of your meditation, or as you're playing it, closing your eyes and doing your own meditation with that. It can really cultivate an inner peace in your space, in what you're doing for yourself, so that you can bring that peaceful part of you into the world, feeling less and less anxious, feeling less stressed at the same time. We always serve Seva tea on the podcast. It's my favorite tea. You can get it at Seva Tea Lounge, which is inside Kavala Wellness in Long Beach, or on Etsy. And you can find out more information on Instagram at Seva Tea Lounge. She has so many different teas that she's curated. I have some here that I use for the podcast. I have Sacred Heart, Rama Tulsi, and Lucid Dreaming, which is a really fun one to have. But she has so many different ones, and because she's an Ayurvedic practitioner, she uses that as inspiration for her teas. Go check it out. We have the info in the bio below. Since my last solo podcast talked about animal healing, I wanted to tell you, of course, not only do we love sound healing as humans, but animals love sound healing, and they love different instruments depending, usually most of them. Just yesterday, I was playing an event where there was humans and we were surrounded by horses, mini horses and donkeys that were all rescued. And they're just so fascinated by the different instruments, and they loved all of them. I played everything, and they love how they sound. They love how they feel. You can see that they're watching something happening around us. They can really see and sense all of that. But dogs and cats love it too. My cats will let me put a small Tibetan bowl on their side and tap it really lightly, and they can feel the vibrations, and they just absolutely love that. They also love the very low vibrating tuning forks. It's the earth frequency. So almost like, unless we hold it up to our ear, we can almost not hear it, but they can hear it. And my cats will come up and try to bite the tuning fork, and you hear it tapping their teeth. It's so cute. So today I want to give you a little bit of sound healing. I want to give you a few moments to close your eyes, or if you are maybe driving somewhere, you can just enjoy the frequency of this. You don't always need to be in that meditative space to receive from sound healing. The vibrations are just emitting out into the universe and going further and further out forever and in, infinity. So even if you're just listening to this, it is doing something for you. It is doing something for your cells. So if you are able to, you could close your eyes and enjoy this. If you are not, either way, you're going to still receive the benefits. So since we're going to end with that, I will do our goodbye now and ask our question to the void. So Void, do you have a middle name? And if so, what is it? Larry. Interesting. When I was in high school, there was somebody that nicknamed me Larry for obvious reasons. Thank you for sharing, the Void. So enjoy the sound healing, this little mini sound healing I'm going to do for you. But since we'll end on that, I'll say our goodbye now. So thank you, healer, for joining us. And I wish you joy and serendipity on your healing journey. And I hope our paths cross again.